Number 25. By hand, given that 3/2 is a 0 of this function here, find the other solutions of this equation. Okay, so we're told that 3/2 is a 0. That means if we divide by x minus 3/2, the remainder is 0. So the very first step is to use synthetic division. So you take the 3/2, draw this funny little symbol, and then you write the coefficients of your function here. So 6, negative 23, negative 19, and 60. So we have 6, negative 23, negative 19, and 60. And then you draw the funny little line. There we go. Let me fix that. All right. So again, first thing you do is you write down the 3/2, and then you write down the coefficients. All right, so now we use synthetic division. So this number here comes down, so you put a 6 here. Then you multiply 6 times 3/2. I'll do it up here. So 6 times 3/2. 2 goes into 6 3 times, so we just get 9. Boom, there it is, 9. Then you add these. Oh, negative 23 plus 9 is negative 14. Right? So then we do negative 14 times 3/2. So 2 goes into 14 7 times, so we get negative 21. So negative 21. Then you add, so you get negative 40. One more time, negative 40 times 3/2. So 2 goes into 40 20 times, so you get negative 60. All right, now we can rejoice. 0. So if you don't get 0 here, it's really, really bad. That means you did it wrong. Okay, so you always start with synthetic division. This number goes here. Okay, and then you write down the coefficients of your function, and then you do the synthetic division. Okay, now we use this to get the remaining zeros. So this is degree 3, so you always start at 1 less. So because it's a 3, we start at 1 less, so 2. So 6x squared minus 14x minus 40 equals 0. We're getting that from here, right? So 6x squared minus 14x minus 40 equals 0. It looks like everything here is divisible by 2. So just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to go ahead and divide everything by 2 here. So divide this by 2, divide this by 2, divide this by 2, divide this by 2. This is 3x squared minus 7x minus 20 equals 0. Now I'm pretty sure this factors and it's not super hard, but let's go ahead and use the quadratic formula for practice because that always works. So a here is 3, b is equal to negative 7, and c is equal to negative 20. Okay, so we'll use the quadratic formula. So x is equal to negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. All right, now we just plug everything in. So b is negative 7, so negative and negative is positive, so we get 7 plus or minus square root. Let's see, when you square the negative 7, you get 49. Then it's minus 4 times 3 times negative 20. I can't even read it, it's so small. And 2 times 3. So this is 7 plus or minus 49. Okay, so this is 4 times 3 times negative 20. So that's 12 times 20. So that's plus 240. Right, because let me blow it up so you can see it's 49 minus 4 times 3 times negative 20. Right, so 12 times 20 is 240, and the negative and negative, that's what gives us this positive here, okay? And this is over 6. Okay, let's keep going. So this is equal to 7 plus or minus 240 plus 49 is 289. This is all over 6. So this is 7 plus or minus, the square root of 289 is 17. And this is over 6. Okay. And now we can break it up, and we can do the plus or minus. Okay, so let's do it. So x, let's do the plus first, is 7 plus 17 over 6. So it's going to be 24 over 6. So 4. And the other one would be x equals 7 minus 17 over 6, which is negative 10 over 6, which is negative 5/3. And those are the other solutions to this equation. Just to recap this, let's go ahead and recap what we did really quickly. So the very first step in this problem, okay, always the very first step is to use synthetic division. So this number goes here, 3/2. Right, there's the 3/2. And then you get these numbers from the function, right? Those are the coefficients. You bring that number down, then you do 6 times that, and then that goes here. Then you add, then negative 14 times that, and that goes here. And then you add, then negative 40 times 3/2, and that goes here. And then you add, you should always get 0. If you don't get 0, you did it wrong, right? So check your work. Then you always start at x squared. And that's because this is cubed. It's always one less. So like if this was a 5, then you would start at 4 here. Okay, but in this case, it's a 3, so we start at 2. When you get here, you have to solve this. In this particular case, it was easy to divide by 2. It's not always the case, maybe. So we did that. And then when we got here, we decided to use the quadratic formula. I mean, you could probably factor this if you think about it. I mean, everything factors, but can you do it in your head? Probably, but I wanted to just play it safe and use the quadratic formula. So we used the quadratic formula, and we went down through this. Be careful in this step here, the step that you can't read. There's a negative and a negative here, right? C is negative 20, and then you already have a negative here, so negative and negative give you a positive. And then you get here. Once you get here, you have to break it up into a plus or a minus. And these here are the answers. So this is the answer, and this is the answer. Those are the other solutions to this equation. The other solution is 3/2. 3/2 is one of the answers, and they're already giving you that one. So that's it.